Hello everyone. Notepad Anon is my name, and here I am yet again. I did not stream yesterday because I was waiting for a phone call all day. And I didn't get that phone call until real late, so I didn't want to do like a 20-minute stream or like a 4-minute stream. And I was like, nah. So, what changed since last time? I added pictures, usually just characters that were either from haven't seen yet through here. I haven't used yet throughout here, like my boy Shinji, or characters from some of the other games. She's from Extella. I think that's also from it. That's technically Waver. It's more from Case Files. I cannot remember her name, but she summons Jack the Ripper in Apocrypha, and he is Mordred's master from Apocrypha. So, let's see, what else did we do? Did I end up doing? Nothing much. I kind of had this open, I was adding pictures, kind of waiting for this call to happen, and I eventually got it. But here we are now. We are playing jazz and bossa nova music, chill out cafe music for study, sleep, and work. A cafe music BGM channel. So, alright, so what we're going to be working on today, that if we see right here in the corner, it's opposing masters' rules, most notably of what they do. Now, you may be wondering, what do I mean by this? Well, one of the key things about Fate Lonely Dance is that you kind of have to worry about what other masters are doing constantly. Is that you don't quite know what they're planning to do, and also simultaneously, you don't know who you're really going up against. Now, this is kind of going to be a little bit more optional rules, but if the game master kind of wants to incorporate them, cool. If they don't have to. But the core idea by the what they do section is effectively going to be, as long as the players are not dealing with someone, they're going after another master, or they're kind of focusing on something else that they're constantly building up. They're trying to get things. They're trying to do their own objectives to complete a grand operation normally. Now, what are grand operations? Grand operation is kind of their ultimate culmination of how they plan on winning, or just a master plan they have to make them so it's going to be very difficult for them to lose. One is from Fate Zero and Ryunosuke, Ryunosuke? Yeah, Ryunosuke and Bluebeard, Caster. And their grand goal was effectively to summon Caster as a giant Cthulhu-esque monstrosity and kill as many people as physically possible. That was their grand operation, and nobody dealt with them for a while, so they were able to pull it off. And everyone kind of had to play their hand pretty early. But that's kind of what I'm going for. Now, it's one of those things, not every master is going to have this grandiose operation that's going to have them automatically win the war. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is so the game master doesn't have to manage 15 different characters at once. Okay, how much magic energy does this person have? What's this happening? What's this going on here? What's this doing here? And it's just to kind of keep the bookkeeping interesting for the game master, in addition to making sure that the players always kind of have a fire under them. You always have to deal with something. Either you are trying to deal with a master and stop him from getting something, or you want to try to see some master from accomplishing an objective of there, or you just want to stop a grand operation before it's available to them. Now, it's one of the issues, too, is that you never have enough time for everything. And that should be one of the key points of this, because these rules also apply to the players. So you never quite have enough time. And what do I mean by that? Not enough time. Because let's say, well, actually, I'll go back a little bit. Fate Stay Night roughly takes place over the course of, I believe, 2 weeks. That's 14 days. And quite a few hours. However, a lot of it's spent sleeping, recovering, or various other actions that aren't necessarily doing things. But over the course of 2 weeks, a lot happens in Fate Stay Night. Even less amount of time, a lot of things happen in things like Fate Zero, or Fate Apocrypha. This is to kind of keep that momentum going. Because if any of you have ever played a Battle Royale game, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Fortnite, for God's sakes, or any of those, a popular strategy is to hole up and camp. Is to get a nice little hidey hole and hide out in. Now, in Fate, characters try to employ these quite often, and usually leads to disastrous results. Cough, cough, Ilya, poor Ilya in Unlimited Blade Works. She really got her heart ripped out there. Or you get some strategies like in Fate Zero with Kenneth, as he attempts to hold up in a giant tower only for Ketsurugu to bomb it like a fucking terrorist. But we want, what I want, I don't know why I always refer to us as me as we, but what I want is for you to replicate those moments effectively of those big things. Okay, we have to deal with this master over here, but we also have to deal with this master who's doing another thing. But we can't stop both. We have to choose which one we want to go against, or we have to choose which one we want to do, or do we just want to gather our resources? There's never enough time for everything. So someone is always going to be advancing their plot, effectively, to get their grand operation complete. And the more time you leave someone alone, the harder it's going to be to deal with them. So, for example, let's say a character you're going up against is a necromancer, and he wants to raise a bunch of undead in the city. He wants to raise a crap ton of undead, and that's how he's going to win the war. Effectively, he's going to force everyone out and just pick them off one by one. And, everyone's going to have to be dealing with this. Now, that's part of his grand operation. And what he needs to do is do a bunch of little actions. Pretty much the point A to B to C. And to do that, he's going to need to amass 3 things. Physical resources. I need to check something. Yeah. Everything looks good. These are physical resources. This is things like money, building, and physical objects. You need to get these things to do a thing. Second is magical resources. Usually this is just magical energy or magical artifacts / assistance. The final thing he needs, and this is the big one. I'm drinking tea, in case you're wondering what that awful sound is. Is going to be, because I need physical and magical resources. I wrote this down in a Notepad document that I deleted because I'm an idiot and I was playing too much Victoria 2 today. Playing Persia in Victoria 2. It's really fun, actually. I don't think I'm gonna be able to form Greater Iran, but I think I'm gonna be able to do pretty well. Doing pretty well in it. The communists haven't taken over my country like they do every other game. Let's see, physical resources, magical resources. Actually, let's just do resources, locations, objectives. Yeah, let's go with that. I think this works. So pretty much, they need to get these 3 things. I might change locations, honestly. Resources is kind of exactly as it sounds. It's I need to get X, Y, and Z to do this. I need money. I need weapons. I need bodies. I need something that it's physical. Locations are pretty simple as well. Locations is just, I need to secure a place. Or I need to make sure that I own X, Y, and Z area. That this is under my control. That I'm top dog here. That you can't really go in there unless you're making it mine. Whether it's more literal, as in Castro's had territory creation used over, and it's literally their location now, or a little bit more informally, being less like we know he's around here, If we go there, we're going to get attacked. And that's kind of what the idea is. Objectives is kind of just to do a thing I need to do a thing. So let's say our Grand Necromancer. Obviously, he needs, I'll say, a poor destructive town. That's what he needs. He just wants a poor destructive town. Pretty much every district he's going to have, he's going to get more stuff, more bodies. Actually, he wants a cemetery. So these are his 3 things to fulfill his grand operation. He's going to need X, Y, and Z of each. I might actually just remove locations and just make he need resources and objectives. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So pretty much need X resources. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. Not perfect, but I think it works. So let's actually write this section up, shall we? Oh, there's my squeaky chair again. Where do I want to put this? I'll put it right here for now. It's not a perfect place. I know what I'm going to base this off of. I actually want to check something because I have the idea in my head. I just want to make sure that someone else hasn't already done it. There's a chance someone else has, and I know what it is. It's from 7th C, and why I'm referencing that is because in 7th C, there is a system called heroes and villains, effectively. And how villains operate is they operate by ploys and schemes on stuff. I want to make sure that I'm... Let's see. Am I insane? I'm insane, aren't I? This isn't a thing. Okay, yeah, no, I'm going insane. It's sort of what I'm looking for, but not quite at all either. So, throwing servants, I want another. Its plot schemes, poised, undermine, expose, and destroy the opposite. That's cute. A lot of capital words here, but useful equipment, tools, and assistance. That one do. And opposing master's lair. God, I can see it in my head. Wow. Objectives or tasks must be. Mention the character. No. I know what I want to say here. I can't see it. So instead, what I'm going to do, securing their own resources. Well, I'm from good old Oregon. Oh, yeah. Oregon. Let's see. Words. I can see what I wanted. I can see what I want to do. Actually, what I'm going to do is we're going back. We're going to go to, not that. We want that. We want to go here. This is Blood, Coin, and Steel, for those who don't know. This is a game about being a medieval lord, about being medieval. And what I'm saying, because I always wrote down effectively what this is. At least in my head, anyway. Oh. Okay. That's the word I'm looking for. Complex up. Actually, not. Yeah, there we go. So pretty much what I'm saying here is that each operation tier, effectively, is a little bit more complex, a little bit more difficult to actually do. So your really simple operations are going to be really simple to pull off. Advanced operations are going to be harder, complex, grand operations. And so it's kind of that gradual ramping up of my phone going off. That gradual ramping up of, well, of threats, escalations, problems. And one thing, too, is you want to make sure that your simple operations are building up to your advanced operations, which build up to your complex operations, which build up to a grand operation. You don't just start off doing a grand operation. You don't have any of the resources. You don't know where to complete your objectives. But if we go off this, a simple operation may be part of an advanced operations objective, which in turn is part of a complex operation, which in case is part of a grand operation. So you've technically, for your grand operation, completed upwards of 4 or 5 tasks, objectives, to complete your thing that you want to do. While your simple one, well, just doing a grand operation is, well, not that great. You're actually going to put actually a note right there. There we go. So, we got this all done. So I'm actually going to make a side note. Yeah, I'm actually going to the Wikipedia article because I actually want to double check what the time is. No. Let's see. Just want to double check that. Oh, time's taking a week. There's a side note and a side note. Yeah, actually, I'm going to make that a separate side note. Carefully. Grand plan for victory. There we are. We'll do keeping time first. It's kind of a bare bones system, but I think this is going to work better than a kind of more detailed one. Because the more detailed you go, that means more bookkeeping, and this kind of game isn't really designed for like really hardcore bookkeeping. It's more designed to help reduce that. And that's arguably what this is for. It's to mitigate some of the like harder bookkeeping aspects. So let's see. All right, that looks good to me. So that means with these two things done, we are actually wrapped up here. Sort of. We are sort of done. Yeah, I don't use Game Master, I use Narrator. I usually like to try to make it distinct, so I might actually rewrite this bit. So I'm actually going to rewrite the Sarajevo Shuffle right now. So, yeah, the Sarajevo Shuffle is kind of my example war that I use, and it's kind of it's akin to the Fuyuki. It's effectively the Fuyuki system, except it's more Adidas tracksuits and getting beat upside the head with rusty pipes and Slavs, and less happy Japanese people being happy. Yeah. Let's see the war. So, the Sarajevo. Actually, I gotta check where Sarajevo. Why I'm checking is okay. Into the throne. Prize, the Saint's Blessing, Divine Power Up. Focused on Carnage. Oh god, that's horrifying. Okay, let's do that. Let's see, a command seal. Yeah. Computer. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a little quick read here. Okay, so let's hit this button and see if everything looks correct. All right, so Servants in You, Holy Grail War, Arbiter and Factions, Grail War, Waging the War. Yeah. I think we have this roughly ready. It looks good to me. This is actually a pretty good accomplishment. Alright, we've been streaming for 52 minutes. Looks like everything is where it should be. So, alright. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it today. We are going to be done today. However, tomorrow what I will most likely do is we're going to be going through probably random dance and adding swingy words. We're going to be adding these. I think that'll be kind of a fun thing to kind of do, give characters a little bit more, mortal characters, I should say, a little bit more oomph. I'm probably going to make them more akin to these. You'll get your perk, you'll get a skill, and you'll get like an attribute change, but you won't get any additional health or magical energy or anything like that. Just kind of a way to say, hey, yeah, no, you're special because you're special. But looking through here, everything looks good to me. So, how much we've done so far? So let's take a look here. Word count. We are at 57 pages and 12,940 words. So we're probably, I'm going to be making a wild guess, probably going to get to 59 pages and a little over 13,000 words. And let's actually do something a little bit fun. Now, you may be wondering why I always like saving base copies of things. It's because of this. and to make sure that everything also works in the future. So let's get everything to load up here. And word count. So we've nearly doubled the words, almost doubled the number of pages. Yeah. Yeah, we know we've nearly doubled everything. We're almost going to be able to double everything, but I think we've really bulked this game up quite a bit. I think things are a little bit better than how they were overall. I think this, yeah, this section isn't perfect, but I think it works. I just pretty much need a picture here, picture there, a few pictures around here, and that should be good. But overall, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Perfect timing as well. That's my alarm going off. Well, thank you guys very much for watching this far. If you haven't watched this far at all and you just decided to skip to this random section, well, thank you very much. Tomorrow, as I said before, we're going to be working a little bit more on them. We're going to be adding some side stuff. And outside of that, I do believe our Diceless Waifu game has been fully completed. So we're going to get that fixed up. We're going to get some pictures put in. Everything will be good. Well, thank you all very much and have a wonderful rest of your day.